Dudes, so what is up? Deadpool the game is finally out. The playthrough is now live on youtube.com/yovideogames. But before we get into the meat of things and the playthrough starts to continue, I wanted to do a quick little mini review, not one to the extent of which my previous reviews, but something just to talk about the game a little bit, because I haven't completely finished it, although I'm pretty sure I'm near the end. So let's talk about Deadpool the game. There was a lot of weird cautionary stuff going on about this game before it came out, mostly because the developers known as High Moon Studios, that also made a couple of my favorite recent generation games known as the Transformers Fall of Cybertron and War of Cybertron games, they're fantastic. Those were really fun and amazing games for Transformers fans of the old 80s Transformers like myself. So I had some pretty good expectations of this. However, I recently heard that a lot of the guys from High Moon Studio were laid off right at the end of the production of Deadpool. I guess Activision didn't give them enough budget, so that had me really worried at this point. Worried that the game wasn't going to be anything special, that it was just going to be total chalk flock, and we wouldn't see anything good. And I'm kind of happy to report that that really isn't the case. So let's talk about a couple of key areas. Let's talk about the graphics of the game. For the most part, the graphics and animation of the game can be a little on the iffy side, on like the kind of like not really mediocre, but they're okay. Most of the character models do a pretty good job, but at the same time, they are pretty low poly in comparison to a lot of current generation games. So some stuff just appears to be a little weird at times. Although it's not completely terrible. I think Wolverine still looks good. I think Cable still looks good. Deadpool looks fantastic. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of like a weird point at the same time. There's just some points in the game that just don't look as good as others. So I think that's a lot to say of like there's not a lot of polish in Deadpool when it comes to certain aspects of cutscenes and things like that. But what I'm happy to report is that the gameplay of Deadpool, albeit I can quote on this, it's a little slippery, it is a lot of fun. There is this level of combat where you can switch weapons, switch guns in the middle of combos and do this huge stuff, do gun kata moves, have like grenades and all this stuff that you can do. There's a huge level unlock system that you can unlock tons of different things as far as weapons and, like I said, grenades and things like that. And you can increase their stats and do all this stuff. So there's a lot of replayability when it comes to the action of the game. And it does feel a little bit to War of Cybertron or the Transformers game. So it's not exactly a bad thing. It's just that on the console version of the game, the frame rate can get a little iffy sometimes. So I believe there is a PC version. If you can play the PC version, do that. It's not terrible though. The game still ends up being a lot of fun. But when you actually have to really focus on those enemies that do those heavy attacks, you gotta like focus your teleports. You gotta make sure you land those hits and stuff like that. So it is a proper action game instead of mash X or mash square the entire time, you know what I mean? So that's a good thing. The music, I can't say much. The music, I really didn't hear much of it. It's mostly just brooding themes sometimes. I'd say the best thing about the Deadpool game is that this game is more Deadpool than anything I've ever freaking seen. Like, literally, if you enjoy Deadpool as a character, or you enjoy the comics, or enjoyed his, like, brief appearances, like, in the cartoon shows, oh my god, you will love the shit out of this game. It's everything you wanted out of Deadpool, times like 12. Like, literally, the notch on Deadpool, like, is a 1 to 10 for regular people, and Deadpool is set to, like, 14. He's just over the top, bombastic, audastic, the entire freaking game, and it's almost a little much, because during my playthrough, I don't even get a chance to commentate very much, because Deadpool's doing the commentary for himself the entire freaking game. So it's entertaining. It's really entertaining, and I actually have a lot of fun just watching the game just transpire with all the crazy, insane adult humor goofiness absolutely everywhere. It's one of the best aspects of the game is the presentation. And the presentation does kind of save it. So, in my opinion, I forgot to mention, Nolan North does the voice of Deadpool. Thank God. I'm pretty sure somebody mentioned this, but he wasn't going to be the original voice. For you guys that don't know, Nolan North does the voice of, like, Nathan Drake. He does the voice of a ton of video game characters, and he's also Deadpool in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He does an amazing job. The entire game is just masterfully voice casted by him, and it's really cool to hear Deadpool just portrayed that way. So, like I was saying, the game is pretty good. It's not amazing by any means, but it's not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. It's probably a 7 out of 10. If you're a Deadpool fan, if you start really getting critical about things, you can probably say it's maybe a 6, but I'd say maybe like between a 7 and an 8 is what I would personally give it at this point. So, that's not a bad game by any means. It's actually pretty decent, and like I said, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So give it a shot if you guys haven't had a chance. I'll also put a link link down below if you guys want to get a copy of the game on Amazon. And if you want to check out the full playthrough, it's over at youtube.com/yovideogames right now, and we're just starting. And just to give you guys a little bit of a taste of what's going to happen with this game, I'll leave you with a quick little montage of some of the more insane, crazy things that has already happened in this game. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Now, where did I put my autographed New Mutants issue 98?
What the fuck was that?
What is this cheap prop? Well, this was clearly made by a junior artist.
Oh, ooh, Jesus.
Yeah. There we go. Now we're talking. Much more realistic. Fine. You
oh, Jesus.
Hundreds of...
Oh, fuck, no.
Oh, you gotta love the ones that make you sweat.
I can't even believe that I just fucking watched that happen. Oh, it's like that fucking thing in Arrested Development where he goes into the fridge and there's a bag that says dead dove. And he looks in the bag and he's like, I don't know what I expected.
Nolan, hey, what's up, buddy? We're making a game about me.
Nolan North?
Do the VO, man.
Look, Deadpool, I got another call coming in.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Nolan. How much C4 is this gonna take?
It's no more than 20 ounces.
What? Oh, I hate the metric system. How much in American?
Let's see. You carry the 7...
Dude, fuck math. Just use all of it.
Dude, fuck, man. Dude. Oh, I saw something I would say. Dude, fuck, man. Come on.